Beneath the pristine sheen of Apple's iconic image lies a story of treacherous trials and a year that would send shivers down the spine of even the bravest tech enthusiast. In the halls of Cupertino, in the shadow of the very empire he had built, Steve Jobs' absence was akin to a haunting specter, haunting both the innovators and the innovated. It was the year that Apple's balance sheet bled, its boardroom brimmed with dissent, and its very existence dangled by a taut thread. Join us as we step back into time, into the murkiest abyss, a journey through the year that was Apple's worst nightmare, a tale of glory to gloom, and ultimately, one of a phoenix's rise from the smoldering ashes. In the heart of Silicon Valley, where dreams are minted in binary, this was the year of darkness for Apple, a year where even the staunchest loyalists doubted the very survival of this tech titan. The tale begins in the twilight of the 1990s, as the world watched Apple's meteoric rise toward a grim precipice. Hold your breath, dear viewer, for this is the story of Apple's darkest year, a gripping odyssey through a labyrinth of emotions, failures, and triumphs. The 1990s began on a high note for Apple, with the iconic Macintosh line leading the way. Steve Jobs had left the company in 1985 after a power struggle, but his vision still resonated in the Apple culture. The Macintosh series, including the Macintosh SE30 and Macintosh Classic, had become synonymous with innovation. However, tensions were brewing within the company. John Sculley, Apple's CEO, and Steve Jobs had a falling out. The board's decision to oust Jobs led to his departure in 1985. The loss of the company's co-founder was a major blow, but it also marked the beginning of internal conflicts. By the early 1990s, Apple had introduced various Mac models, such as the Macintosh Quadra and Performa. While they showcased Apple's design and usability, they couldn't match the growing momentum of Microsoft's Windows operating system. Despite these challenges, Apple was still profitable and enjoyed a dedicated user base. As the mid-90s rolled in, Apple's fortunes took a dark turn. The company's financial situation deteriorated rapidly. By 1996, Apple had reported a net loss of $816 million. Its market share had dropped below 4%, and the board of directors was divided over the future direction of the company. Leadership turmoil intensified as Apple cycled through a series of CEOs, including Mikkel Spindler and Gil Amelio, attempting to steer the company through stormy waters. The losses mounted, and the future appeared bleak. In a dramatic turn of events, Steve Jobs returned to Apple as the interim CEO in 1997. He brought with him a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The year 1997 was a year of anticipation, as Jobs took the helm, introducing changes and realigning the company's focus. The pivotal moment arrived in 1998 when Apple unveiled the iMac. This colorful, all-in-one computer was not only a technological marvel, but a design masterpiece. It was a beacon of hope, released at a time when Apple's future was hanging by a thread. The iMac's release marked a critical turning point in the company's history. In its first 6 weeks, the iMac sold nearly 800,000 units, generating $1 billion in revenue. Apple's stock price began to rise, signaling the return of investor confidence. The late 90s and early 2000s were a roller coaster ride for Apple. The company faced competition from the likes of Microsoft and was grappling with product flops like the Newton. Nevertheless, the passion and dedication of Apple's employees and loyal user base never waned. In 2000, Apple reported its first profitable year since 1995, with a net income of $786 million. The emotional journey of its employees and the steadfast loyalty of its customers were a testament to the company's resilience. The legacy of Apple's worst year continued to shape the tech industry. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod, which revolutionized the music industry. Sales of the iPod reached 125 million units by 2008. The iPhone, launched in 2007, redefined communication and became a cultural phenomenon. By 2022, over 2.2 billion iPhones had been sold. The iPad, introduced in 2010, put the world at people's fingertips, with over 500 million units sold by 2013. The financial resurgence was astounding. In 2021, Apple reported annual revenue of $394 billion, making it one of the most valuable companies in the world. The worst year in Apple's history was a crucible of challenges, but it forged a company that would go on to reshape the world. Against all odds, Apple not only survived, but thrived. The story of this dark year is a reminder that even in our worst moments, we can find the strength to rise from the abyss and change the world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our thrilling tech history series. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.